Hey, Kat, thanks for doing this. Just real quick, when you're up 3-0 on a team that kind of just came back from being down 3-1,
Yeah.
how do you guys keep your foot on the gas while also, I guess, maybe being, understanding that what you've done is impressive at the same time?
I mean, we just got to stay in the present. The next game's the most important game, and there's a lot of things that we need to clean up, and we want to clean up, and we have another game to do that. So, um, it's about just staying about us.
Hey Kat, how are you?
How you
Um, Mike has talked a lot about, the adjustments he's made on offense, sort of, playing things through you at the elbow. Between, different guys coming in and out of the rotation, what have you made of the job that Mike has done to kind of keep you guys on the front foot and you guys dictating games rather than reacting to games almost?
I mean, it's been great to have us,
He's going to tell the truth. Mike's done a shitty job, but Mike's trying, and Cat and the rest of the players are carrying Mike's big behind.
took 90 games here. And I just think it's great that, it was the perfect time for all of us to, really get on the same accord. And I think too, there's no better time to playing your best basketball than right now. So shout out to Mike and the whole coaching staff really putting us in a position to succeed.
Go ahead, Steph.
Hey, Kat. Apologies for getting kind of deep here, and I understand if you don't want to answer it, but what's it like for you playing on Mother's Day?
It's work. It's just work to me. I'm glad we got a game on Mother's Day. It gets me doing what I love and what gets me off of everything off the court.
Go ahead, Ian.
Hey, Carl, thanks for doing this. Mike's talked about the offense changing like kind of regularly lately, and he says, there's still more things that we want to get to, more things we could do. How much does it change? Like, is it changing between teams? Like, how much can you actually change what you guys are doing at this point in the year, and how
Uh,
much from your seat, how much has it changed?
yeah, I feel like the real change for us came in before game 4 in Atlanta. I think that's when we really changed our offense, and it's been great. It's been something I've talked about for a lot of the season too. Feel like I could help more our guys, and we made the right moves, and like I said, he set the table for us to be able to have this kind of run. But it's about staying present. We still have a lot of work to do, a lot of things to clean up, and we can even be better.
Kat, you and Mikhail played against each other out west when you were in Minnesota and he was in Phoenix, right? I'm assuming that you kind of remember those days. Do you see any growth from him between those days and where he is now as a player?
Yeah, I think that he's always been athletic. He's always been talented. I think that what's better is just to see, the experience be kicking in for him. And he's done an amazing job of seeing, in a way, seeing it all, being in the finals and everything, and also just using that experience to help us and help himself. So it's great to see that his career has helped, make him the best version of himself right now today.
Go ahead, Steph.
Hey, Kat. When they changed the offense in middle of the Atlanta series, were you part of those conversations? Like, hey, this is what we should do. How collaborative was that with the players and you specifically?
I feel like we all had an opinion and we were able to figure what was best for our team, especially in a spot like that, down 2-1. And I have my opinion, and then I feel like we done a great job of adjusting to help all of us be our best.
All right, all set, everyone?
I gotta say one thing. I've missed saying this. I told Derek the other day. I was so tired after there's a game 2, right? I feel like
Yeah.
we've played 5 games already. Game 2, game 3, but I didn't get to say we my family at least wanted to give love and condolences to Nick Nurse's brother and his family because I never got to say that after game two. I was exhausted, as you could see on the court, so I kind of skipped my mind. In game three yesterday, it skipped my mind. Just the madhouse media coming in and everyone trying to get out. So I don't care if you don't write or anything, but I want to y'all to know that I could have told you in the locker room, but yeah, I was all trying to get to every player. So just wanted to make sure that was known. I wanted to say that on TV when I was at the podium on game two. I was just so tired. And I was so tired I didn't even get to the Gatorade. I couldn't even make another Gatorade joke. So really want to give my condolences to him. I haven't been able to talk to him personally, but I know it's real tough, and I don't know what he's going through, but in a similar fashion, I know how it is to have to show up to work and have a lot of pressure on you to do something special when you kind of not fully there.
The Sixers obviously came back from down 3-1 in their last series. You guys are up 3-0. Just what's I guess the mindset? What's the message to the team, knowing that you guys have played good basketball, but this is a team that's proven that they can come back from down in the series.
They're a really good team, man, and they've already done it once before. We addressed it, but the biggest thing is just trying to stay present. Not getting ahead of yourself, and however you can do that, try to do it. And the simplest way for me is just keep reminding myself, reminding people around me. It's not only is it one game at a time, but it's one quarter, one possession at a time, and trying to lock in on each possession like it's your last.
Okay. Ian, try again.
Thank you. Yeah, Mike, thanks for doing this. Is there anything new on OG Anunoby in terms of treatment or what's going on today?
He's still day to day. I have not followed up to ask any specifics. I just want to let them know, okay, when's he going to be ready to play?
Steph.
Hey, coach.
Hey, bud.
Given the fact that you guys are up 3-0
Hey,
and
did you go to Penn?
my son did.
Oh man, that's big time.
Yeah, he surpassed me a long time ago.
Well, hey, if you can understand it and acknowledge it, then you're doing good.
Yeah.
So you doing
I
okay.
acknowledged that a long time ago.
Okay, fair enough.
Since you guys are up 3-0, and no team has ever lost 3-0 lead. Do you have some cushion here where it's like, does that come into play when you decide to play OG or not? Like, all right, maybe we can wait a day, give him an extra day because this is not like in the must-win territory.
Not for me. Like I said, it's all medical related, and it starts with Casey, Chico, Quentin, the doctors, and OG, and all I want them to do is tell me when he can play.
Go ahead, Jared.
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good. How are you, man?
You talked about it a little bit yesterday. Using the regular season to experiment with different rotations, different looks. How much has that kept everybody ready or open to change in the playoffs when, different guys might see the court, some guys might see less of the court, keeping that culture of sort of everybody staying ready or being open to change?
To me, it's half the battle because just what I've experienced as a head coach, and like I said, as an assistant in San Antonio with Popovich, and as an assistant in Golden State with Kerr, as an assistant, you hear more chatter from the players than as a head coach. And when I was an assistant in both those spots, sometimes guys, they talk more openly around you, but you can hear them say, if somebody's hurt, hey, be ready to their teammate, be ready because they may call your number. And so when guys are engaged like that, 24/7 throughout the course of the year, it bodes well for the environment, for the culture. And guys are actively trying to keep their mind present because when they get an opportunity, they want to go perform. They want to not just perform well for their team, but for themselves, because you perform well for yourself, you get paid more. Maybe you get more minutes. Just a lot of positive things can happen. And so, I try to do that throughout the course of the year so that during times like these or times when a guy's not playing, they somehow, some way try to keep themselves ready.
Mike, kind of going back to Mikhail, Landry in the locker room was saying that, Mikhail does so many things that don't show up on a stat sheet that often go, like, I guess, overlooked. That, people will talk about his defense or whatnot, but it's all the other things that he does that makes him so valuable. I'm wondering, obviously Mikhail's been in the league for a while. When you were maybe game planning against him as a coach, what did you see in his game that made you realize maybe this season when you were taking over as coach that whether or not he's having ups or downs in the season, he's going to be able to pull through no matter what?
One of the things is his ability to run both directions. I mean, he runs like a deer. His gait is beautiful, which makes him fast, and it doesn't even look like it. Um, Puts a lot of pressure on the defense because of his ability to run. He's got a good feel for what his pace needs to be in the half court. He'll sprint into a ball screen and slip out. And when he slips out, he slips with vision. And the ball may not go to him for a score or for an assist, but when you generate something like that with pace and you're a threat to slip because you can score from the medium range or get into the rim, the defense has to do this. When the defense does this, it opens up other opportunities for your teammates. And then he's always uplifting. He's extremely positive with his teammates. And, those things are just a few of the things that go unnoticed to others throughout the course of games, throughout the course of a year that we appreciate when he brings those to the table.
Go ahead, Ian. Last one.
Hey, Mike. Just we were asking Carl a little bit before about the conversations that led up to some of the offensive changes that you guys made entering game 4 against the Hawks. And then I want to ask you about that, but then also you said something before the game that kind of perked my ear when you were saying there's more changes that we could do, there's more that we can implement. You hear that at this time of year. And I'm just wondering, like, how does that process work and how much more can you actually add or change at this point?
No, that's the tough part with it. Just because our practice uh, window is really short or limited. And so trying to experiment with after timeout stuff is what we do, but not getting too far from what we're doing. So it's a fine line to try to cross. Um, I mentioned that because what we're doing now, I think, can have uh, great carryover next year and down the line, um, because we'd be able to expand on it the right way, through a training camp and all that other stuff. But right now it's a little limited, but there's still enough options within what we kind of stumbled upon to make it effective. But hopefully, as time goes on, we'll be able to expand on it. And if we can get to it during this playoff run, great. If not, we feel pretty good about where we're at going forward, even afterwards.